All right, let's get into it. Today, we're diving into one of the most critical parts of building AI agents that you can actually trust, seeing what the heck is going on inside their heads. We've got to make sure our brilliant creations don't quietly go off the rails, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So, story, once upon a time. Picture this: an enterprise agent, a really smart piece of code designed to optimize cloud costs, gets stuck. It gets stuck in an infinite thinking loop, just reasoning and burning through API calls one after another. And the craziest part? The team who built it had absolutely no clue it was even happening. By the time anyone even noticed the bill, that little thinking loop had torched over $14,500 in API credits. Just poof, gone. A complete disaster, all because the system was running totally blind. And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of the danger. The agent didn't crash. It didn't throw some big flashy error message. It failed silently. And in the world of autonomous AI, trust me, a silent failure is a million times more dangerous than a loud one. This brings us to what I call an agent's worst enemy, the AI black box. See, when we can't see the internal state of our systems, all sorts of things, errors, bad logic, flawed reasoning, they can multiply and spread completely undetected. It is a recipe for catastrophe. So let's be super clear on what this is. A silent failure isn't a bug that just stops the program. No, it's a bug that lets the program keep running, but in a totally corrupted state. You can think of it like a poison spreading through the system with zero outward symptoms, right up until it's way too late. Just think about the difference for a second. A loud crash? It's obvious, right? The system stops, you get an alert, you can go find the problem. It's an inconvenience for sure. But a silent failure? That's invisible. It just keeps on chugging along, corrupting data and logic, creating an absolute nightmare for you to debug later on. When you're operating inside this black box, you have zero visibility. You can't understand the why behind what the agent is doing. And this leads to something called goal drift, where the agent just starts pursuing the wrong objective. You can even get these shadow agents, these weird, unintended behaviors that just emerge out of nowhere. And debugging, forget about it. It becomes a total guessing game. You know, it all boils down to this one simple truth. If you have no visibility, you have no control. You can't fix what you can't see. So, how do we get that visibility? Okay, so how do we fight the black box? We fight it with observability. Our mission, our entire goal is to turn that opaque, mysterious box into a transparent glass box where we can see every single gear turning. And we do this in 3 key steps. First, we implement comprehensive logging to track everything as it happens. Second, and you're going to want to pay close attention here because this one's critical, we extract decision traces. And third, we create these rock-solid, unchangeable audit trails of every single interaction. Let's really zero in on that second one. A decision trace is basically the show your work of AI. It's not just what the agent did, but a complete log of why it did it. Every thought, every hypothesis, every single step in its reasoning chain. This is how you really truly understand its behavior. And when you combine all of this, you get the ultimate prize. You get control. You gain the power to turn a chaotic, unpredictable system into one that is predictable, accountable, and, most importantly, actually debuggable. But here's the thing. Logging is reactive, right? It helps you figure out what went wrong after the fact. We also need to be proactive, and that's where monitoring and escalation gates come in. Think of them as your AI's early warning system. So let's ask the tough question. What happens if, despite all of our amazing logging, the agent starts to drift off course in real time? What's our safety net then? Well, the answer is a real-time health monitor. We build dashboards that track key metrics like success rate and latency. But look at that last one, the confidence score. We can literally monitor how confident the agent is in its own decisions. And if that number starts to dip, bam, we hit an escalation gate. This is your automated circuit breaker. When a metric like the confidence score drops below, let's say 70%, the system automatically pauses and flags a human to come take a look. It stops a small error from turning into a full-blown system failure. All right, theory is great, but we all know the real learning happens when you actually build stuff. So, level up, study buddy. Let's get our hands dirty with your first logging task. Here's your mission. For the very next 3 tasks you give to any agent you're working on, I want you to log just 3 simple things. Number 1, the initial intent. What did you actually ask it to do? 2, the reasoning trace. What were the key steps it took to get there? And 3, the final result. I know it sounds simple, but just doing this little exercise will be incredibly revealing. I promise. You'll start to see patterns, you'll spot these recurring gaps in your agent's logic that you would have completely missed otherwise. It's step 1 to building truly robust systems. So here it is, the big takeaway. Through logging, through observability, and through monitoring, you have the power to transform that unpredictable AI black box into a system that is reliable, predictable, and debuggable. You can build the glass box. And that's our deep dive for today. If you're ready to keep building and keep leveling up, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Study Buddy with Notebook LM. We are your daily guide to the agentic revolution. Until next time, stay agentic.